We are just days away from the Iowa caucus. The weather out in the Midwest may be ice cold. We just saw Matt Pritchard out there in the snow, but the race is heating up. Our NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell joining us now.
From inside.
Yes, much warmer inside this building. Sue, let's start with Nikki Haley. Of all the Republicans who have challenged Trump's place at the top of the party, she's made the most headway here, and she did it without attacking him. But we're getting down to the wire here. Do you think she stays the course in the final days, or do you expect her to turn up the heat?
Yeah, I think Nikki Haley has found her lane, and that lane is not to attack Trump directly, but rather talk about what it would be like to have Trump as president again for the next 4 years. And in her words, she says it would be chaos, and even more chaos. And she's doing this again without directly attacking Trump the person or Trump's policies overall. And that's her Trump lane. And then when it comes to her Governor Ron DeSantis lane, she's attacking him directly, as she did in the GOP debate this week with her DeSantis Lies website. But right now, like many of the other candidates, it's about getting those caucus goers to brave the weather and get out there and caucus for her.
I know we saw it was freezing there with Matt Pritchard. We wish him the best and hope he stays warm. So when we talk about her attacks to Ron DeSantis, he's way behind in New Hampshire. He's way behind in South Carolina. Some polls in his home state of Florida even show he's somewhere of 40 points behind Trump. If he can't win in Iowa, do you think, in your opinion, can he win anywhere else? Could he be in the final days of his campaign?
Yeah, he's on life support. The DeSantis campaign has been on life support for a while. Look, he has to finish a super strong second in Iowa, way above Nikki Haley if he wants to keep his campaign alive. But look, Priscilla, the weather has suddenly become a factor because as Iowa meteorologists, as we have noted, are predicting temperatures that could be a historic low for Monday's caucuses. That means that many of the caucus goers, many of whom are seniors, may skip going to the caucus. And when you have a very low turnout in any kind of election, that means that anything could happen. But it also means that DeSantis still has to finish a strong second in order to win.
We hope people show up and brave the cold. So news this week, Christie dropped out. He said he worried staying in the race might help Trump, which is really the last thing he wants to do here. But right before he made it official, he was caught on a hot mic trashing both Haley and DeSantis. So if he doesn't support Trump, Haley or DeSantis, what's his next move here if he's determined to help defeat Trump?
Yeah, that was a real precious move on Christie's front. Look, he can trash them all he wants, but he's the one that dropped out, and they're still in the race, Haley and DeSantis, for president. You know, I think an endorsement from Christie right now is the kiss of death, either for Haley or DeSantis, because they're either trying to court or not tick off the MAGA base. And Christie is the anti-Trump candidate. And the talk about a third-party candidacy with the No Labels group or Christie giving a Biden endorsement, I think it's unclear at this point who that would hurt more, Trump or Biden, if they make it to the final, if Trump makes it to the final. But if I were Christie, I'd just keep doing what he's doing, attacking Trump based on his fact-based first-person basis.
All right, and hopefully not caught on another hot mic here.
Well, that's good for us.
All right, Sue, thank you. We appreciate it as always. All right, well, despite not running for president, Senator Joe Manchin made a pit stop in New Hampshire today. The West Virginia senator attended the latest Politics and Eggs event at St. Anselm College this morning. Now, the event acts as a forum for presidential candidates and other political leaders. Manchin has flirted with running for president under the third-party No Labels ticket. He said he would wait until Super Tuesday to make a final decision on a presidential bid.
I think basically you have to see the outcome of the primary and what we've ended up with the two categories. If you're handicapping it right now, you would say that it'll be Donald Trump and Joe Biden. That might change, though. There's still some time for that to change. So I think about Super Tuesday, you would know.
All right, Super Tuesday. This is Manchin's second visit to the Granite State in less than a year. And a big week calls for big coverage, and the At Issue team is all over it beginning next Monday night at 7:30. At Issue will be live to cover the biggest stories from the campaign trail. Then They'll have guests, live reports, and of course, all the analysis you need. And remember, you can catch the team each Sunday morning at 11:30 right after Meet the Press.